So, something I'm saying way too often is that RPGs are a bad fit for the Famidaily format. I've got to make a video a day to stay on schedule, so I can't play an RPG for 10 hours to get a really good grip on it. But I can look at two things when it comes to RPGs. Okay, 3 if you count the presentation, but I usually just let you guys watch the gameplay footage for that. What I'm usually looking for is, are there distinctive mechanics that make it stand out from the usual pack of Dragon Quest clones? And does the game throw up a lot of barriers to progress? If you have to spend 2 hours walking around the starting area building up levels before you can do anything, it's not a very interesting game regardless of whether or not I could get far in it. SD Keiji Blader is based on the Keiji series of television shows, which were in turn based on the Metal Hero line of toys. The official English translation for Keiji is Space Sheriff, and it was about some space cops who come to Earth to fight crime. Crime being whatever monster the space mobsters create that week. SD Keiji Blader isn't directly based on one of those shows, it's just another story set in the same universe. And the plot of the game is pretty basic. You've got their villain and they've decided to take over future Earth. And as a space sheriff, you will not stand for that. Also, if you're a villain, white pointy hoods are not a good look for your minions. SD Keiji Blader has a streamlined interface that's a lot closer to Final Fantasy than Dragon Quest. You don't have to bring up a menu to interact with things, you just hit the A button. If you do bring up the menu by pressing B, there's only 4 options. Change, which turns you back and forth between your metallic form. Item, for all of your inventory needs. Unit, which are the magic abilities in this game. And status. The thing about the change option is that it does absolutely nothing. It changes the graphic for your character, but it doesn't affect your combat abilities or how you interact with anything. It doesn't make any difference whether you use it or not. In your inventory, you have to choose to use an item to equip it, and the only thing that you can equip are weapons. You can have 3 different weapons equipped at the same time, and that is very important for the combat system. You actually start out with 1 unit ability in SD Keiji Blader. For 0 energy points, you can teleport back to your home base. As you level up, you'll also get the ability to heal yourself, teleport to cities that you visited, and damage enemies directly. Mostly you have to explore the future Earth on foot, but after you've made some progress in the story, you get a motorcycle for cruising the highways. While on foot, you'll get random encounters with enemies. A lot of random encounters with enemies. I mean a lot of random encounters with enemies. The game actually has a counter of how many steps you can take before you'll encounter an enemy, and the maximum is 17 steps. The average is about 8. Combat offers you the usual attack and run away options, although running away almost never works. When you go to attack, you have to select which weapon to use, and some of the weapons require energy. They always start out at a base level of energy, and you have to have at least 100 points to fire them, even if attacking doesn't cost 100 points. The weapons also recover energy every turn. So what you'd ideally do is have 3 weapons available, perhaps 1 that doesn't spend any energy at all, and then you can cycle between the weapons, letting them recharge between attacks. Or at least, that's the ideal way that they intended for you to play. There is another, more sinister option for you though. A bug exists in the game that if you only have 1 weapon equipped, and if you press down and A simultaneously when you're selecting what weapon to attack with, you'll go into an infinite attack sequence, never stopping your attack, and always doing extreme damage. Now you wouldn't want to do that, right? I mean, you'd have cheated not only the game but yourself. As you explore, sometimes you'll find people who will join you on your quest. They'll follow along behind you on the screen, but when it comes to combat, battles are one-on-one, just you and the enemy that appears. Your followers will very rarely give you an assist in combat. For example, the other rookie space sheriff will heal you from time to time, and the monkey will occasionally get in 1 attack. You level up pretty quickly in SD Keiji Blader. I was level 9 after an hour of play, but leveling doesn't seem to do a whole lot for your attack and defense. It does increase, but not significantly. You'll really need to upgrade your weapon if you want to improve your attack. There's one more feature to mention in SD Keiji Blader, and that's that you can save at any time you like when you're outside of town. It's right there on the menu for you. In Japan, this doesn't seem to be a very popular game, and it seems to mainly come down to the fact that it doesn't represent the Star Sheriff series very well. Now, as somebody with no connection to that, my feeling is that this is a pretty snappy, easy-to-use RPG. Yeah, you get attacked constantly, but that's pretty common in these RPGs on the Famicom. If you're not using the bug, then your weapon loadout matters a lot because some enemies are stronger to some weapons than others. And there seems to be good options for players while streamlining things a lot. I kinda liked SD Keiji Blader. Maybe it falls apart later, or maybe I'd get frustrated with that high rate of enemy attacks. But my impression was that this is a really solid 8-bit RPG.